So, as usual, I'm back from a multiple month long hiatus, but this time I bring a movie former. In particular, this is Nitro from the upcoming The Last Night, which is probably going to be a horrible movie like the last four, but hey, the designs are cool. And that's what I care about, because I build designs, I don't make movies, obviously. And hey, I built him because his figure finally got properly revealed, and they showed what his alt mode was, a jet, and I was like, hey, I have lots of light gray. I could build Nitro, and I did, as you can see. Now, if you are familiar with Nitro, you'd notice that his arms are not nearly as big as they should be. His chest should be like smaller, and all around his proportions aren't exactly accurate. Now, the reasoning for that is just kind of, I wasn't exactly going for accuracy. I was just more kind of like, hey, this is a cool design. Let's actually get it to work and transform. So I went for actually getting it to function over actually getting the proportions or necessarily the looks. Even though I do think this guy looks cool, it's just kind of arguable if he's accurate. Because although he generally has most of the details, some of them are just kind of not quite right, or they just don't look right. Like, he's supposed to have three rib cages. I just kind of didn't have the pieces I wanted to use for the third ones, and they would have stuck out in jet mode a lot, so I stuck with these two. He should have like way bigger jet thrusters on the thing on his shoulders, and they should have panels over them rather than just these. Once again, it's just kind of sacrificed for the jet mode, which is the story of him. He sacrifices a lot for his other modes, but I still think he turned out pretty good. It's just accuracy where he suffers. Now, as you can see, he's got these weird little three-pronged finger things, which uh, I used basically because he's supposed to have like big hands, and I couldn't quite figure out how to get the big hands to fit into where they had to fit into for the jet mode. So I went with these kind of wimpy looking hands, but at least they get the point across that he has big hands, kind of, even if they are kind of anorexic. Uh, his whole chest could be shaped a lot better, but I think it generally gets the whole like the point across, and he's got the little whatever these are, and he's obviously got the rib cage, and I do like the legs a lot. And in terms of articulation, he doesn't. Well, he's got a fair amount, I suppose. It's just not exactly all that great. Uh, his legs can't really go back, but they can go forward about that much. And then he has double joints in the knees, but they only allow him to accomplish a 90-degree bend. So you don't really get any of the cool double jointed knee poses. You just get basic posing. His toes can come off. His toes can be fiddled with, but that doesn't really accomplish much. Uh, his feet can't tilt, or ankles. He doesn't have an ankle tilt, but he does have a heel tilt. So like as long as you're fine with kind of just pretending his feet are touching, he can still like hold a stable like pose. Even then, even if you don't mess around with heels, he still can stand. It's just, as you can see, his feet are kind of going to be hovering. Which, if that really annoys you, it doesn't really annoy me that much. Now, his eye is yellow. I swear to God, the figure that I was basing this off mainly had a yellow eye. And then, like, the day after, his bio gets released, and it specifically mentions his red eye. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I never bothered to change it. If that really bothers you, I don't know. Just stop caring about eye color that much. Due to transformation and the fact that this head is just kind of tacked on due to how all the other space in the jet is taken up by other stuff, his head cannot look around. It can tilt. It can look up as long as you don't break it. But it cannot look left and right, which kind of sucks, but yeah, he has a ball joint in the shoulder, which can give him decent like up and down movement, but like you can't actually like bend it outwards very much. He has double jointed elbows, and unlike his knees, these actually accomplish something. But I don't really know how much you would want to use it. Doesn't have a waist joint, sadly. And I also didn't build his weapons or his missiles. I have reasons. I was lazy, and I just kind of didn't care because they would either look bad or they would just kind of look okay, but then get like be a pain in the butt to try and integrate. So this is what you get. I probably should give him the missiles because they actually are on his character model from what we can see, but like I couldn't figure out how to give them the missiles in the right color with the parts I have and actually looking decent. So I just decided, who cares? Just keep them this way without the missiles. So yeah, now there's not much else to say. You can kind of screw around at this on the back and open it up, though that's not really super necessary. You can just kind of keep it closed. That flops a lot. One thing that kind of bugs me on this guy, one arm just has the tail fin on there, which is kind of annoying. But you can just kind of go like that, and then where is it? I don't know. It's gone. But yeah. There's one thing I really like. It's that this guy just does not look like he turns into a jet at all, which is accurate, unlike his proportions. But at the same time, the fact he doesn't look like he transforms really, it sacrifices some of the jet's silhouette, I guess you could say, because he definitely is a bit of a typical jet former when it comes to the underkill. And speaking of the jet mode, let's get to it.